At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Central Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 501-244-3667, or visit our website at directserviceoverhead.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.
All right, welcome everybody. It is middle of the week. God, it feels like a Monday. If I'm being real, I don't know why. Every day has felt a little bit different than the one before. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome. Hallelujah. Maybe the bad weather is on its way out. Maybe Northwest Arkansas will begin to melt tomorrow. I certainly hope so. I'm a little tired of all this. I'm a little tired of all the slickness. It's too much of a hassle to get out on the streets right now, to drive around town. It's too much of a hassle right now because of all this horrible weather. Hey, shout out to sponsors. Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company, located all over the dadgum state. You need some work done, man, they've got your back. Okay? They've got your back. They offer free estimates, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. 501-244-3667. Direct Service Overhead's got you covered. Apex Tattoo Studio. They have moved. I'm going to remind everyone, they have moved. They're at a new location, 201 South 19th Street, my bad, in Rogers, Arkansas, Suite P. They're offering a pretty cool deal here. If you mention Tuss Talk with Ty or Ty Hudson, whatever, they'll give you a deal. Tap-out sessions are available. Call to book today. And then last but certainly not least, Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzaria located right here in downtown Springdale, right off Emma Street. They've got the best pies, and they've got all sorts of good local stuff on tap. The IPAs are premium, my friend. They're premium. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Arkansas Razorback fans got a little bit of a howdy doody today. Talking, we got to hear from Sam and you know what's going on with these new coaches. We got to hear a little bit about the portal. He talked a little bit about their plans there to some degree. Arkansas has a little ways to go, right? I mean, they've still got 9 spots available. 76 of their 85 scholarship positions are open. Or, well, I'm sorry, 9 spots are open on the scholarship distribution. They've got a little ways to go to fill that up. We'll see what they do. It wouldn't shock me if they don't go all the way with the 9. If they leave a couple scholarships left over, I don't understand the strategy behind that, if I'm being real. I really don't. I don't really understand the strategy with that. Why not, if you can, why not fill, why not? What's it hurting? You know, you get those guys that are one and done, that they only have a year left on their that they have eligible, another year of eligibility. I just, I don't know, whatever. We'll get there, right? What's up, Ty? How you doing, Will? How's it going, man? What it do, Bot Magnet? What did I miss? You missed it all, Scott. You missed it all. Show's over. Reminder, and I'm just kidding. We clearly just started. We just kicked this thing off. Off to a good start here. Look at that. We're at 6 minutes, and we've already got a good portion of the show. Listen, the times are off the wall. I told you guys this week they're going to be wild because we're, with all the AMI days with school, I'm stuck in this house with the kiddos. and my wife is home, and we're trying to, she's got to work from home, and it's created a little bit of not chaos. That's not the right word, but it's created a little bit of a challenge, a little bit, as to when I can do my thing. For whatever damn reason, she needs my laptop and the computer in here, so I can't do notes while she's in here. So I'm just left in the living room twiddling my thumbs and doing what I can on my phone. I hate doing work on my phone. I hate it. So let me get caught up on chat here. Super Chat is up and running. Remember to like and share. I know this is off the wall. The live stream times are crazy, but I do appreciate you guys. I really do. Woo Pig from Houston. What's up, Boss Hog, man? How's it going in Houston? Just curious, what is your viewership during and after football season? It just kind of, I don't know. It depends on how well basketball's doing, right? I mean, the numbers will dip. We've seen that. I've not had a post-game show yet go over 1,000 views. Not a single post-game show. And that's usually my threshold. Like, 1,000 views. I'll take that, right? Not a single post-game show's hit a K. Not one. It just kind of is what it is. There's more and more people entering the space. I mean, I get it. I helped build one of them. And now they're more, they're not a competitor, but, I'm battling for views, and I'm a small independent channel. I don't have a big message board to go post my content to, right? I can't share my content. I'm not a mainstay on Hogville. I don't push content over there. I don't have a 247 recruiting board. I don't have rivals. I don't have that, right? So it's kind of me doing everything I can, scratching and clawing. But I would like to get to 1,000 views on one of these post-game shows. But yeah, basketball has, let's be real. Razorback fans, I've said this for years, are probably some of the most fickle fans you'll ever meet. As soon as there's a little bit of adversity, fans just tend to let go of the rope. It just kind of is what it is. And they're certainly not alone. There's plenty of other fan bases that are like that. Fan is short for fanatic. But yeah, the numbers dip. They have dipped in terms of like post-game. Regular shows are doing okay. But it's usually, up until between, we'll see what Arkansas does in March. We'll see what they do, or the month of February into March. If they have a pretty good run, then I expect some numbers to go up. But you can't obsess over the numbers. You really can't. You just keep grinding away. Ty for the ride home from H-Town. Sign me up while you're at it. Join the Patreon. Hey, I appreciate that, John. Appreciate that, my man. They get the wins rolling, and hoops views will jump off. Yeah, maybe. Again, I try not to obsess. I do like the analytics. I do like I like diving into the numbers. I've said before, if something isn't worth my time doing, like sometimes Discord, I've told my mods this. I've thought about nuking Discord twice. Legitimately had my finger on the trigger, like I'm wasting my time here. But the community there that's grown, it's actually it's fun. I like participating there, and it's gotten funner. The traffic is lower, which is weird. The traffic is lower. The population it's the highest it's ever been, but it's not growing. And then when I look at my numbers, and it's like, man, am I wasting my time here? Sometimes I want to hit the nuke button. And just stop, because I don't like wasting my time on stuff. But the community over there is really cool. The Patreon page is awesome. Patreon page is done really well. Good old notepads work well. I don't like notepads. I like working on my laptop, man. I swear to God, I have that laptop connected to the power plug-in 24/7. It's probably why that battery in that thing isn't worth a shit. This is my first view after football, to be honest. Watch you every week during football week, so I appreciate that, Jeff. Yeah, and that's the other side of it, right? I've built my audience mostly off of football. That's probably 70% of my audience. Let's be real. It's why I've never really touched on baseball, because there's not a lot of drive here for baseball content. There's just not. It's not in high demand. It's really not. Hog fans claim to be, diehard baseball people, but man, they're not really. I've talked to other people in the media about this. It doesn't pop off like you think it does. A lot of talk, not a lot of walk, not a lot of search for baseball content. Don't get me wrong. You got people out there, too, like Dudley Dawson, who's going to cover baseball for Hogville. You're going to want to consume that content. Dudley is Dudley knows what he's doing. The guy eats, breathes, and sleeps baseball. He's a diehard Cardinal fan. We do have Discord. Yeah, Discord it's fun. Last night was a hoot. Surprised Will didn't say anything, but last night was an absolute hoot. I really enjoyed the growth of Arkansas media on YouTube. You have post game, and Kevin McPherson started on, which is very insightful as well. Yeah. When we beat Tennessee or Bama, you should have 1,000 views. Listen, I'm not going to obsess over it. I mean, I'm really not. I anymore. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, and I just move on about my day. I'm more interested in baseball than basketball, says Bot Magnet. You're going to be in the minority. I mean, really. Again, 70% of my viewer base. I've made baseball content, and it doesn't have the reach. No one's looking for it. Like, don't get me wrong. The most active people in baseball, like fans, college baseball wise, are probably Hog fans. It's just it's not really reflective when you look at the search analytics. It's not really reflective. Like, people are not scratching and clawing for Razorback baseball. Now, when they get going, right, and I think I'll be real honest with you, I'm a little bit behind in my baseball research. I think this team's going to be pretty good. The bullpen sounds like they're going to be really deep, and they're going to have some quality arms. They've got you've got some All-Americans already on this roster, not just talking about the bullpen, not talking about the pitching. They've got some real pieces. They're going to be good, and I'm going to do everything I can to try and, I'm going to keep up with it like I did last year. Some of my favorite content I've ever made here is when the Arkansas went on the run last year to the College World Series. That was fun. That was real fun. The views actually were a little bit reflective of that as well. Yeah, baseball content in our Discord will be hopping. That is absolutely right. I'll be honest, I can't listen to. All right, we're not going to go picking on other content creators, but I've been watching Dan Eno's highlights when he was at Arkansas, and our tight ends are going to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get into what Sam had to say just a little bit, right? Well, first, let's get into Shemar Easter. Shemar Easter, I don't know what was going on. I had heard he wasn't going to sign until they pushed it back to Wednesday, and then his school was closed today, and he was supposed to sign tomorrow. So either they opened up school, and I'll be honest, I didn't look it up, but either they had school today and he was able to sign, or he just said to hell with it, and I don't know, he faxed in his LOI. I really don't know how he was able to get that in today, but he did sign. He signed. This is a big one. Watch this dude's video. Watch his video. Watch how quick he looks, how explosive he is off the line of scrimmage, which I know is not something we talk a lot about with tight ends, but he is so explosive. Looks like he's got a pretty good, his catch radius looks pretty good, right? Looks like he's got good, solid hands, pretty athletic. Listen, someone told me a while back they thought Shemar Easter was going to be a project player. In his huddle video, I think it's his junior film, he's pancaking people. He's catching the football. He's running, routes through the middle of the field. He's running down the sidelines. Listen, I don't know if I'm going to call Shemar Easter a project player. I mean, this dude, 4-star prospect, 6'5", 225 pounds. He's a .92 for you people that are obsessed with the decimals. I don't think my kids realize I'm live. I didn't tell anyone I was going live. I was like, I'm just going to hit the live button. But Shemar Easter, yeah, a .92 4-star, top 200 prospect according to 247 composite score out of Ashdown, Arkansas. Again, I'd heard they weren't going to sign. They'd push it to Wednesday, and then they were going to push it to tomorrow. Once again, our kids are home tomorrow. So I don't know what the weather's like down in Ashdown, but yeah, I guess he was able to get his letter of intent in the mail. He's a top, wherever you look him up, he's typically a top 10, top 15 tight end. Again, this is a big-time prospect. I know a lot of people are really excited about Luke Hawes, as they should be. I feel like I'm as equally excited about Shemar Easter as I am Luke Hawes. Now, we're going to get to the portal conversation here in just a minute. You're really young. You're really young at the tight end spot when you talk about scholarship distribution. They're pretty young over there. You're going to have several freshmen. You're going to have two for sure, right? They thought they're going to bring in Ham. Of course, he ended up going to KU. Wish him the best. I really would have liked him. Now, he was someone I think they would line up outside. He's someone I think they'd probably actually line up to play at wide receiver. I think when you talk about a project player, I think Ham probably fits that description a little bit better than Shemar Easter does. But you're really young here. You're talking about a redshirt freshman and then two other freshmen that are going to be in that lineup somewhere. Ty Washington is someone, if he builds off the kind of fall camp that he had, right, if he builds off of what he did, and he kind of disappeared as fall camp went on, but he was someone the media, and I've talked about this numerous times, he was someone the media really, he caught their eye. He was someone we were all talking about on the sidelines at fall camp last year. It was actually pretty interesting. Otis Kirk and I think both of us said on the live show that we were doing at the time that we felt like he might make his way into the 3 deep. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. We'll see what he does. I don't think we got an update on Henry from Sam today. I'll be honest. I didn't finish the whole interview today. I wasn't able to. I had to knock this live out because I got to get ready for dinner, and I got to drive down to Fiesta Liquor here in a minute and go grab me a bottle of whiskey. Roads aren't that bad. I drove on the road yesterday twice. I'm going to do it again today. I'll be fine. Yeah, I got stuff. I've got a little thing. We're gonna try and watch a show tonight. Trying to knock out all these shows we're so behind on. I've got a full schedule. Remember, Friday will not be available. I will not be here Friday. Will not be live on Friday. Saturday, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be available for a post-game show or not. I'm going to try. You guys know how I am. I don't like to miss those post-game basketball shows. I may not be able to do the post-game for basketball. I don't know yet. I'll try to keep you up to date. I'll let you guys know in Discord. So, again, Shemar Easter, big get. I don't think anybody, look, when South Carolina apparently had gone after Shemar pretty hardcore, I was concerned there for about a week or two that, man, there's a good chance that Shemar may end up going elsewhere, may leave the state. I didn't want this cat to leave the state. Apparently his in-home visit with the new tight end coach went quite well. And the 6'5", 225-pound 4-star tight end is a Razorback officially. So, yeah, I'm really big on this one. This is one of my favorite gets out of this class. On average, I think Arkansas's class is floating around the top 30, top 25, somewhere in there. But he is a very good addition to this class. So that puts them at, that puts them at 2 tight ends signed. And I do think, and Sam Pittman, so we'll just go into the discussion about what Sam had to say. Hold on. Let's read chat here really quick. And Danny Enos, make them Danny Enos has had success with tight ends. Backs, I think he might have another year of eligibility. I'm not entirely sure. He's what we saw last year out of him. He's a blocker. I mean, he's like an extra tackle. He's not someone that we've seen, and that goes for what access we had during practice, fall camp, during the season, as everyone got to watch. Backs is probably not a cat you want to rely on. I'm not saying he's not capable. I mean, he did play this year, and I think he had a couple grabs this year, if I'm not mistaken. But I do think, and Sam kind of alluded to that today, that they're going to go after an older, more mature. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but how he said it sounded like they are interested in the possibility of going after an older person in that room. Something that kind of surprised me. He really went in on, he emphasized numbers today. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to listen to it. He emphasized numbers and not really quality. I mean, it's not to say that he didn't, right? It's not to say that it was all just, we're gonna throw out offers, and whoever grabs the offer, they take it, whatever. We're gonna take their commitment. But he certainly put an emphasis on just feeling like numbers, just trying to get the numbers up at certain positions. I kind of feel like that was the approach with the secondary for the last couple of years, and it didn't work out for him too well. You remember at one point, coming out of spring camp, Sam Pittman said he felt good about the two deep at every position in the secondary. Well, then after they got some fall camp under their belt, you could see the panic on his face. We just didn't realize it at the time. Oh boy, they're in trouble. They're in trouble in the secondary. We didn't. It was hard. You really couldn't see it, but all of a sudden, the verbiage or the narrative went from, boy, you felt really good. I can remember talking about that here. I can remember talking about that and discussing that here on the show. He says they're fine. They can go too deep. I felt like they were going to be better in the secondary. I liked some of the pieces that they acquired with Dwight McLaughlin and Brenny, with the possibility of a healthy Catalan. Bishop coming back as someone who's a speed demon and a guy with knowledge playing in that defense. Of course, Hudson Clark was still part of the conversation, maybe not always in the best of ways, but you felt pretty good about what was going on in the secondary. And all of a sudden, the verbiage, everything started to change right when you got through fall camp. And we definitely heard the talk about numbers. We definitely heard the talk about them going out and grabbing people and trying to fill up the numbers. I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on beyond the surface in some positions. Don't get me wrong. Are there some improvements in areas? Yeah, sure. Is it nice to see? Is it nice to talk about filling up the depth chart? Sure. Is it nice to see you're filling up the depth with numbers? But the motto on this show is, you guys know this. Any OG who's been around for more than a little while knows quality depth matters. And I don't know, man. It kind of seems to me like they're, with what he said today, it made you think that, we just want to go out and grab some numbers. Now, again, it's not to say that they, we're just grabbing bodies and that's it. That's definitely not all that he said. I think we need a tight end from the portal. I really thought Jake Roberts was you had Jake Roberts, you had the kid out of Notre Dame, which was a bizarre split. It's hard to get a pulse on what happened with that situation. From what I understand, he showed up and left early. I forgot that kid's name. The freshman. He was a redshirt freshman at Notre Dame. Ended up going to Coastal Carolina. Barang or whatever his last name was. From what I understand, he showed up and he knew right then and there he probably wasn't maybe going to crack right out the gate the two deep. I don't know. You got to figure he did end up going to Coastal Carolina. Okay, it's not like this guy went to LSU or Auburn or Florida, an SEC Power 5 school. No matter the shape they're in, he went to Coastal Carolina. So I kind of feel like there's probably a little bit more truth on Arkansas' side, which is they more or less stepped away. But he left early on his visit here, I was told. And then you had the Roberts situation where you get beat out for Baylor. The situation at tight end, I don't know. I mean, he must be able to walk right in and start out the gate. I think he would here. I think Roberts would have come in and been the guy. Absolutely. Roberts was someone that a lot of schools had a lot of interest in. So again, just kind of listening. Let's read off a quote here that I have, talking about just what Sam Pittman was discussing about filling in some needs. I'd like to look at another guy that could snap the ball offensively. So clearly they're looking for another center. We've got to find maybe one more. I'm losing guys last year. A bunch of those guys could snap. Obviously, Ricky Stromberg played center, but Luke Jones could snap, and so we've got to continue to look at that on offense. I think we've probably got enough running backs. Wide receivers, we may be full there as well. Yeah, I don't see them going after another wide receiver. But we'd certainly take a dynamic one. So in other words, and again, it's not all about numbers. If there's someone out there good enough, they feel like is dynamic enough, someone who's a playmaker or a difference maker, if there's going to be one available post spring ball, I mean, who knows? Then they'll pull the trigger. But it sounds like, again, they are also looking to just fill in the needs, right? They just need numbers. Tight end, we might need an older tight end. I've been saying this for weeks. It's Roberts. Like, to me, that was a loss. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like they swung and missed. They swung and missed. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and kiss the ass of Sam Pittman and the staff. Like, I think mostly they've done a good job, but missing out on these tight ends like they have, it's just strange. Like, I really don't know how you lost to it's not in the same realm of Kendall Briles to TCU. That situation we have a little bit better understanding of. As soon as there was interest in TCU, as soon as they made the phone call, they went out looking for another offensive coordinator. Sam said that today. But it's like, how do you not? I mean, this is a situation at Arkansas where someone like that is going to come in, they're going to start. Someone like Roberts is going to come in and start, but this dude goes to Baylor. I don't know. To me, that just seems. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed in that one. I really thought Arkansas had him. It certainly seemed that way for a good week. I don't know number wise what we do. And then quarterbacks. We've got enough quarterbacks at this point, so I think that's where we go. I don't know if that answered your question, but that's where we'd look at. So. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think they've done a good job, man. I think they killed it with the wide receivers, just like looking at Tesla. Did you hear him talk about Tesla? Called him Tesla. I told you guys it was Tesla, and I had someone try to correct me. No, I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, Tesla. I don't know. I like Tesla. It just rolls off the tongue better. Yeah. So I think they could come in. I mean, you're going to see a reset at the skill at wide receiver and tight end. You're going to see a reset. You're not going to have the same personnel out there behind the running backs and KJ Jefferson. And hell, behind KJ Jefferson, you're going to have Jacoby Criswell and Malachi Singleton, who will likely redshirt. Yeah, and again, I think they've done a good job. I just think the tight end situation's weird. I don't know how comfortable you are with a group of freshmen at that position. Maybe they feel fine. Maybe we're overreacting a little bit, and they're going to be just fine. But you're losing quite a bit of production on offense, and it feels like that'd be a spot that you'd like to anchor down. I do see Luke Haas playing. I do. Ty Washington. We'll see about Nathan Bax. I think he has another year of eligibility. I'm not entirely sure on that, but maybe you feel a little bit better if Bax is back just because of that senior leadership and a guy that's been around for a second. Yeah, so again, 76 of 85 spots are open. So you got 9 spots. I don't think they'll fill them all. I don't think they'll – I mean, maybe they will, but I don't see it when the portal opens back up in May. But it'll open back up May – I think it's May 1st through May 15th, so it gives you 2 weeks to attack the portal. I could see them adding a few more. They did last year. You grabbed what was it, 2? Was it 2? Maybe 3 players? And it could be something similar. But I do think they end up going after another tight end because I think they're going to fill it. They're going to fill it. Like, if we know anything about Enos, tight ends are heavily used. And no matter where he's been, tight ends play a big role, whether it's just blocking or it's running routes, getting open, catching balls, doing whatever. They're going to play a pretty big role. And I just don't know that any of these guys you feel super comfortable with. Luke Haas will be a stud, right? I think Luke Haas is going to be a stud. I think Shemar Easter is going to be a stud. I'm excited to see what happens with Ty Washington. But again, you're talking about a group of freshmen, even though Washington's a redshirt freshman. Tesla is a giant NIL just waiting to happen. Will Lennox is Ty Washington going to surprise? Maybe. I'd certainly like for that to be the case. Tight end room going to have to show maturity quick. This isn't Briles' offense with a 3.7 tight end utilization. Look at John in here. All right, John, we get it. Enos will use them. You're right. He will. The quality level of tight ends we have in Enos offense plus premier college tight end coach will put up eye-popping numbers the next few years. I've told you guys I am excited for the hire for 2023. I just don't know what to expect beyond that. I mean, you're not talking about an offensive coordinator with an upwards trajectory. We're talking about a guy that, I mean, he ended up at Maryland. Let's be real. I mean, and he was there for 2 years, and it's like as soon as Arkansas got on the phone, he was was there, man. I mean, I'm not shit talking the guy. I think Dan Enos, his 2 years. Listen, I've had to talk a couple people off the ledge over this Dan Enos thing. I've got a friend of mine, I've had to kind of talk him off the ledge over this stuff. This guy does not like the hire. He thinks it's a 2015. You're rolling the dice for a 2015 type of season, and you're going all about it the wrong way. This is coming from this individual, not me. I've had to talk him off the ledge a little bit. Like, go back, look at the numbers, look at the offense. It's a similar situation, even though maybe you don't feel as great in certain areas, right, on the offensive side of the ball. We don't know what to expect out of these transfer wide receivers. And again, that's something that's been discussed. You're talking about guys that are not coming, from Power 5 football programs. You're not. You're talking about guys that are coming from, Isaac Tesla. Where did he come from school? Or what school did he come from? Without looking it up, right? Without looking at his credentials or without Googling it. You'd have to search him up on a map somewhere, right? His school, but it's Hillsdale, I think is what I have written down there. I don't have. If you look up his 247 profile, it's not even. I don't even think it's on there. Hudsonville, Michigan. He played at Unity Christian High School. But yeah, you look at these wide receivers. You just don't know what you're getting, but that doesn't mean they're going to be bad, right? You have Tyrone Broden, this tall, lengthy wide receiver out of Bowling Green. Andrew Armstrong comes out of Texas A&M Commerce. So you just don't really know what you're getting out of this group. Is that the perfect situation for Dan Enos to walk into? I don't know, but I certainly know how I feel about KJ Jefferson and his leadership and his being a starting quarterback now for 2+ seasons at Arkansas. I tell you, Joshua Braun, offensive lineman, I think he's going to crack the 2 deep, you guys. I think he's going to end up being really good here. But yeah, you look at what they've done on offense. The only Power 5 grabs are Jacoby Criswell out of North Carolina and Joshua Braun on the offensive side of the ball. Braun again, who came from Florida. So I don't know. Landers came from Toledo. He did come from Toledo. Hillsdale, says Todd Cooper. Enos is adaptable. We'll see pieces of offense. Yeah, you will. You're going to see a little bit of RPO in there. You're going to see, I think it's going to be multiple. It's going to be a multiple type offense. You're going to see a little bit of everything. They ran a lot of stuff out of the pistol at Maryland, and he did that here. They ran a lot of stuff out of the pistol. Biggest downfall throughout the years has been quarterback play and consistent defense. You mean inconsistent? Bot Magnus' offense will be pretty good. We'll see. I certainly hope you're right. I listen. I agree. I think they're going to be I think they're in better shape than some people want to admit. And again, talking to my ledge jumping friends, it does feel like a similar situation. What he was walking into with Brandon Allen. Only KJ's a little bit more established, right? And you feel a little bit better about that. We'll just have to see what they do with the receivers. But my God, the running backs, Rocket Sanders. You see Pro Football Focus? I shared this in Discord. They have him rated as a top 5 returning running back in the country. If I looked at that, was that? Hang on, let's find that graphic. Where is that graphic? Oh boy, Discord was jumping today, wasn't it? Rolling. My God. I want to see his numbers. That's what I was trying to do here because I think they posted the numbers. Discord was active today. Look at you guys. Did I scroll past it? No. Here we go. Pro Football Focus. So they didn't give his grade. Okay. But they have, this is top 10 returning backs for the 2023 season. Again, this is Pro Football Focus. Blake Corum in Michigan. Quinshawn Judkins at Ole Miss. Give me Rocket. Rocket Sanders at 3rd. Bucky Irving at Oregon at 4th. And then Braylon Allen at 5th at Wisconsin. Only 2 SEC backs made that list. That's interesting. 2 Michigan backs. Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum made the list. So, yeah. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby. I want to see more I formation. You want to see more I formation football? Well, I don't know how often you're going to see that, really. I mean, in this day and age, maybe. With Enos, we know that's what he did. Sam Pittman said today, too. I mean, he more or less admitted he's a run-oriented coach. I'm telling you, he played a role in that offense last year, man. A little bit more energized about the Hogs. Will you go into more information about South? I'm going to be real with you, man, Tony. I hadn't planned on talking about South Carolina. So you kind of caught me. You caught me red-handed. I haven't done any research on this game because I wanted to focus on Sam. But Arkansas, I mean, we can look into it really quick. South Carolina, Arkansas's favored at 92% on the road. It's not too bad. 92%. What is it that South Carolina does well? They're 8-14 overall, so not very much. They don't do very much well. They're dead last in overall standings. They do have a conference win at 1-8. They're 8-14 overall, like I said. They don't do anything well. I mean, they're pretty bad. They're giving up 73 points a game. They're a not great rebounding team. They're averaging about 34, 35 rebounds a game. They rank 236 there. They're only averaging, and their offense has been pretty bad. They're averaging 63 points a game. I mean, that's down there, man. They're down there by a country mile. Arkansas should walk into that place and beat these guys pretty handily. If you lose to them, you're I don't know. Your season's over with, as far as I'm concerned. I really don't know how you come back from that. You're going to have to get some upsets. You know, you're going to have to win several games you're not supposed to win. With Musselman, you never know, right? You never know what you're getting. You never know. Well, I shouldn't say you don't know what you're getting. You know exactly what you're getting. Halfway through the season, he turns things around. The month of February, the man has a plan. But in terms of beating opponents you're not supposed to beat, in other words, he's done it. But he's also lost some head scratchers. You've already got a couple of those this year. South Carolina, not exactly. Their star, Gregory Jackson. This is a guy that is averaging 16 plus points a game. What did he do against Mississippi State? He had 15 against Mississippi State. And they lost that game at home 66-51. And Mississippi State is not exactly tearing it up. They're 2-7, 14-8 overall. So, yeah, this would be a nice win. Keep this win streak going, right? Keep it going. You know the narrative, because it's true. Arkansas gets it together in February. But you've won 3 straight conference games. Making it 4 would be nice and get you prepared for Rupp Arena. Get you prepared for Kentucky on the 7th. That's going to be a big game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. You're going to play them. It's a home and home. You're going to play them. You've got them on the 7th, and then you've got them as the last game of the season inside Bud Walton Arena. I like the way that stacks up. I like that that's how you close your year out instead of at Bama, at Tennessee, and then at Kentucky. God, that'd be brutal. And that's pretty uncommon. The SEC, I don't think, schedules 3 straight away games. I don't think that's something they do. But, I mean, imagine, like, getting Alabama at home and then at Tennessee and then at Kentucky. I like that they close that out because that could potentially be a good win for Arkansas if they can win. I think they're good enough. Listen, I think they're good enough they can sweep A&M. I said they're going to beat A&M. They handled the game better than I thought they would have against Texas A&M. But I think Arkansas is good enough that they could sweep the Aggies. I think they're good enough they could sweep the Aggies. I think they're good enough they could sweep the Wildcats. You win the games you're supposed to win. You don't lose anything at home. You've got Mississippi State, Florida, Georgia, and Kentucky left at home. Take care of business against who you're supposed to beat. Sweep A&M and sweep Kentucky, and we're a lot less afraid about what's going to come for Arkansas in terms of whether or not they're making the tournament or not. Take care of these games, man. You cannot lose a home game, and you cannot afford to lose to South Carolina. I mean, they're one of the worst Power 5 basketball teams in existence. Let's see here. Refreshing my YouTube studio. Yeah, again, if you guys are here, remember to like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate you guys. I've seen a lot of negative comments going around about this recruiting class. It's got to be posers. I like this recruiting class, and I'm not saying that. I probably say that a lot. Maybe I have blinders on. I don't know, but I like what they've put together. Talking about football, again, it is the unknowns, right? It's hard to say that FCS or these lower division kids that come in, you don't know what you're getting. They're about to walk into a situation where they're playing the best of the best at the college football level, and how they respond to that. Maybe they were a little overrated when they hit the portal, But I like what they've done in the portal, and I like what they've done with recruiting. Now, I definitely, like I said, they're not done in the portal. I think they're going to go out and they're going to grab. I think it wouldn't shock me to see them go after a tight end and then maybe maybe two more guys at the defensive line spot. Sam Pittman mentioned a linebacker, right? Going out and finding themselves a linebacker. But again, he didn't really focus as much on quality talking about some of these positions. Just talking, it seemed to me, keep in mind, I was doing the dishes and listening to it with my little speaker platform. It holds your phone. Maybe you guys, maybe you have one. You put your phone on it. It's got the speaker. You connect it through the Bluetooth, and it holds your phone up. I was listening to that, doing dishes, and trying to focus in on what Sam was saying. But it didn't seem like he was talking about quality as much as he was talking about just going out and grabbing numbers. So I hope that they can go out and find some quality players. But I like Jacoby Criswell at quarterback. I like Tesla. I like him a lot. I don't know. I think the jury's I think they're out on the other two, on Broden and Armstrong. I like Joshua Braun a lot. I think he's going to crack two deep at some point. It might be middle of the season. I don't know, but I think he's going to crack the two deep. Jury's out for me on a couple of these guys. Antonio Greer, I like, the linebacker. Going to have senior leadership, right? Probably going to see him in the mix quite a bit. Al Walk, oh my God, this kid out of Baylor, Walcott, I am really excited about him. You could argue, he might be your best addition in this class out of the portal so far. I think it'd be a toss-up between him and a couple other guys. But then talking about just who they signed, I've already talked about Luke and Shamar, Isaiah, the running back out of Florida, out of Naples. Who else we got? Micah T's decommitted. I did not remove that. I was about to say, wait a minute. Davion Dozier, who I thought someone bumped him up to a 4-star recently. Luke Brown. Let's see. Quincy Rhodes. I'm pretty high on Quincy. I think Quincy's going to be special. Got to give him time. Let him bake in the oven a little bit. TJ Metcalf. This is a dude that was pursued by schools all the way up until signing day. TJ Metcalf was a good get. Jalen Braxton was a good get. And again, jury's out on a lot of these kids. Jury's out on everybody, right? Until they show themselves. We're talking about high school prospects, but no, I think they've done a good job in the high school ranks. I think they did a pretty good job. They need tight ends. They went out and got tight ends. They needed a quarterback like Malachi Singleton. They went out and grabbed a Malachi Singleton. They needed a stud running back. By God, they got one. I think this is a good class, man. They went out and signed 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 DBs. Christian Ford, Dallas Young, TJ Metcalf, Jalen Braxton. I think Dylan is expected to play on the defensive side of the ball. 3 linebackers. Brad Spence is the real deal. Alex Sanford. Maybe Brad Spence, but what I've heard and seen from Alex Sanford, that's going to be someone special. Again, I think they did a pretty good job here. How much of it is actual quality depth? Time will tell. Hopefully these cats stick around a little while. I like the class. I mean, anytime you're hovering around top 25, there's not much to complain about. Now, you could compare it to the rest of the SEC, and yeah, you have an argument. They're not going to hold up to the rest of the SEC. I mean, they rarely ever do. It's hard to do here. You can have the top 20, you can have the 20th or 15th best class and still finish in the middle of the pack in this conference. I mean, it's just insane. It's just insane. Thoughts on bringing Walsh in off the bench? Did we change starting lineup? It's a good question. How do they? Yeah, that's a good question. What do they do with the Mitchell twins? I mean, I thought it worked. I'd like to see Walsh be a little bit more. I'd love to see him peak on the offense a little bit. I'd love to see him just become a scorer, be a guy that just finds a way. We also got some D linemen. Yeah. Bear with me, you're 19 seconds behind. Yeah, and it's also YouTube and OBS. I have to reload my studio every 5 minutes. It's annoying. I have to reload it, and then sometimes chat doesn't load up properly. Make him an offer you can't refuse. All right. Braxton practices against NFL. Yeah, Braxton's going to be special, man. They've got some studs. I do. This class kind of brings a smile to your face. I think they did a pretty good job. Now, is it the best class they've ever signed? No, I don't think so, but it could be. I really hope a number of these kids stick it out. And that's what sucks too about recruiting now. It's like, yeah, and I'm not saying any of these kids will transfer. I don't know. I mean, I understand their situation. Sometimes they just want to go because they think the grass is greener, right? We all know that's not always the case. Some players have to find out the hard way. But when you talk about recruiting, you often look at a class and you go, well, I hope he stays. I find myself saying that with almost every prospect. And that's everyone. That's everyone. That's not just Arkansas. That's everybody. That's what sucks about recruiting now. It's like, yeah, man, they'll bake him in the oven for a couple of years, and then he'll come out and he's going to be badass and ready to go. Now you just don't know. It's like, I hope he's patient. I hope he's coachable. I hope he sticks it out because he could be special here. Maybe we get Nick Smith Jr. back. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Everyone has said middle of February now. I mean, that just feels like too little, too late. They're also crying about Dan Eno's hire. Yeah, they are, Brian. You're not wrong. A lot of people upset about the Enos hire. Is it a home run hire on the surface? Probably not. But could it be? Could it still be a good fit for Arkansas and be a home run hire for Arkansas? Absolutely. Yeah, Jeffcoat was a really good pickup from Mizzou. I agree with that. I'm telling you, there's not very many of these kids out of the portal I'm looking at and going, I don't like. I mean, there might be one I'm a little like, I don't know, we'll see. But, yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me, like you said, I think they're going to go after a center out of the portal. They're going to go after some linebackers. It sounds like they're going to go out and offer someone, and they're going to go offer an older tight end. Who knows, man? Maybe they feel like maybe they do go out and they use every one of those scholarships and they just stack it up. Because he talked about numbers, why not? But yeah, I'm excited. And then you got the guys coming back, Samuel Bakke, Centennia, right? I mean, we'll see what they do with Quincy McAdoo. They're still. I get this asked a lot. Are they going to move him back to wide receiver? It's up to him. I mean, Sam talked about that a little while back. He said it's up to him. It's up to whatever he wants to do. So, yeah. All right. I do appreciate you guys. Remember, final time I'll say this. I will not be live Friday, and Saturday's postgame show, I don't know. I'll try to keep you guys up to date in Discord. So, yeah, hopefully I'm able to be live on Saturday for the postgame. What time is that game on Saturday, by the way? 2:30. Ooh, 2:30. Okay, 2:30. So we'll see. We'll see if I'll be available or not. But, again, I'll try to keep you guys up to date. I appreciate you. Discord, if you haven't already, click the link, Discord. If you want to join Patreon, the month did reset, but I haven't gotten my confirmation yet from Patreon. When that hits, I will update the Patreon page. So, yeah, hopefully you guys, if you are Patreon supporters and you're in our Discord, make sure you link the two accounts. Link your Patreon to your to Discord, or link Discord to your Patreon rather. And if it does not connect you in our Discord, you should have the green name. Let me know, and I'll look into it, okay? So, hey, Ty, where'd you fall asleep, by the way? I'm not going to release the details. No, I think I really don't remember how I went to bed last night, if I'm being honest. Yeah, we had fun on Discord Live last night. That's all I'll say. That was a blast. I had a lot of fun. We handed out a lot of XP. If you missed out, man, you missed out. But that was a blast. So, anyways, all right. I'm going to go take care of what I need to go take care of. Drive down to Fiesta Liquor, go grab me some whiskey, and I've got cigars. I've got enough cigars to last me through the rest of this. So I'm good there. Going to eat some dinner, hang out with the family for a little bit tonight. And then, I'll hopefully be back at it on Saturday. If not, I'll see you guys next Monday. Okay? Woo Pig, go Hogs. Oh, I got to give my prediction, even though I didn't do any research on South Carolina. Yeah, I think Arkansas should win this game. I think they should. If this is a close game, that's going to give you a little bit of pause for concern. But I think Arkansas should walk in there and beat these guys by 14, 12, 14 points. The problem is Arkansas's they've been bad on the road. They don't win on the road. So this would be a huge win just for that, right? Just for the fact that you get a win on the road in SEC play. That's what gives you a little bit of concern, right? But South Carolina's bad enough. Listen, I don't expect anybody to be there for South Carolina. They're fan. You got to you're 8-14. I mean, you're not even in the conversation of making the NITs. I think their season. I mean, it's been over with for a while for them. I say they won't show up. I've heard South Carolina fans are still pretty diehard, so maybe they will. But regardless, it shouldn't matter. There's way too much talent. It's just not even a fair. It's not a fair fight. They did have an upset this year. They did beat Kentucky. Don't know what the hell happened, but they went on the road and they beat Kentucky 71-68. I mean, you talk about a black eye for Kentucky. Not that this year's been great for them. I mean, they're 15-7. They have a couple of losses that are just head scratchers for them as a program, but South Carolina being the worst, Arkansas should still be fine. So I like them. I like them by double digits. I'm going to take Arkansas plus. I'll say 14. I say they win by 14. That's my pick. All right. Woo Pig, and I'll see you guys either Saturday or Monday. Go Hawks.